Hello students, welcome back to the video lecture series of power plant instrumentation. Till now we have studied about the different types of power plants. We have also studied the different sources of energy, which were the sources of energy. The first one was nuclear energy, then solar energy, then wind energy. With the help of these type of energies we can produce electricity. We have also seen that different types of power plants are there. Thermal power plants in which we are using coal, then nuclear power plants, then solar power plants, wind power plants. These are the different types of the power plants. And we have started unit number 4, that is basics of the power plants. Okay, basic principles of a nuclear power plant, which we have already studied that what is nuclear fission, what is the basic fundamental of the nuclear power plant. Let us revise the things quickly. First of all, we have studied about the nuclear fission. What is nuclear fission? In nuclear fission, uranium and nucleus are bombarded and they will produce a large amount of energy, and that energy, that heat energy is used to generate the steam with the help of water. Okay, and that steam is used to rotate the turbines, and turbines are used to generate electricity from the mechanical energy by providing the input to the alternator. Okay, we have already studied these things in detail. Okay, let us see the diagram of the nuclear power plant. See, I will not revise all things, I will just give you the overview that we were using reactor, steam generator, turbine, then generator, okay, cooling towers, condenser. We have already studied the basic function of that. Today in this lecture, we are going to study about these blocks in detail. We are going to study the function of each and every block of this nuclear power plant in detail. Okay, so let us see the components that are used, the important components that are used in the nuclear power plants. The first one is nuclear reactor, second one is heat exchanger, then third is steam turbine, alternator, condenser and cooling tower, feed water heater. So these are the basic 6 components that are used. Okay, let us study the components one by one, the basic functioning, the functioning of that components in detail one by one. See, here you can see the diagram of nuclear reactor. As I have already told you, the nuclear reactor is used to generate the heat that is used for generation of the nuclear. See, here you can see the diagram of the nuclear reactor. Now, what is the basic function of the nuclear reactor? The nuclear reactor is basically used to control the chain reaction, and it is used to generate the heat that is used for the production of the steam. Okay, and which process is used in the nuclear reactor? Nuclear reactor is helpful in creating the nuclear fission because we are using uranium as the fuel. Okay, when uranium is bombarded and it is undergone the nuclear fission process, then what will happen? See, here you can see the nuclear reactor. One is nuclear reactor, control rods are shown here. Okay, then a coolant is there, moderator is there, then you can see here one component, that is steam generator. The steam generator is nothing but the heat exchanger. Okay, so the important components in the nuclear reactor are the fuel, the reactor in which we are going to inject the fuel, okay, then control rods, coolant, moderator, okay, and coolant circulating pump. So what is the main function of the reactor? Okay, so if we talk about the main function of the reactor, it is the main function, it is the main component of the nuclear power plant where the nuclear fuel is subjected to nuclear fission, uranium we are adding. Okay, a nuclear reactor is a machine that contains and controls the nuclear chain reaction by releasing heat at a controlled rate. See, this is also very much important. The heat is continuously generated from the nuclear reactor, but we have to control the flow of rate we have to control the rate of heat that is flowing. And what is the reason for that? Because if the heat energy inside the nuclear reactor, inside the nuclear vessel will increase, then what will happen? There are chances of explosion. So the process, that is chain reaction, we have to control the chain reaction process. So the neutrons that are released in the nuclear fission are to be controlled. Okay, so for that purpose, the nuclear reactor is used, in which we are using some mechanism with the help of which we can control the chain reaction and we can control the heat rate. Okay, now uranium is the fuel that we are using in the nuclear reactors, and due to the fission it will produce a large amount of heat in the reactor. Now this heat is then transferred to the reactor's coolant. Okay, you can see in the diagram a coolant is there. Here water is used as a coolant. Okay, we are using water as a coolant and we are transferring the heat to the coolant, to the water, and due to the water present and heat is inserted, okay, we are applying heat to the water, then what will happen? Due to that, steam is produced. Okay, it also consists of a moderator. Now what is the main function of the moderator? Here we are using graphite or heavy water as moderator. Now what is the main function of moderator? See, moderator is used inside the nuclear vessel, inside the vessel, that is nuclear reactor, to slow down the neutrons. Because as we know that in nuclear fission what is happening? In each and every nuclear fission process, 3 neutrons are generated. So if these neutrons will again bombard with uranium, then what will happen? They will again create more 3 neutrons. So continuously this process is repeated. See, somehow we have to control the flow of neutrons. Okay, so to slow down the neutrons so that the further bombardment is not happening, we have to slow down the neutrons, and to slow down the neutrons, moderator is used. So this is the basic function of the moderator. The moderator in the core will slow down the neutrons released from the fission so that they will not create more fission. Okay, now last thing is the control rods. In control rods, we are basically using the neutron absorbing materials such as cadmium. So the control rods are the components, or we can say are the things that are controlling the rate of reaction. They are controlling the rate of reaction, or they can easily stop the rate of reaction because we are using the neutron absorbing material. So some neutrons will be absorbed, and with the help of this we can control the rate of reaction. Okay, then second one is heat exchanger. Heat exchanger is used to generate the heat. See, already water is present inside the heat exchanger, then the coolant water is coming, along with the water heat is also there, so that heat is transferred. Okay, that heat is transferred to the water present inside the heat exchanger. Okay, the coolant will give up the heat which is used to increase the steam, and this steam is again given to the turbine. But before that, after giving up the heat, what will happen? If the water is given heat, then heat is transferred and it is converted to steam, so that water will be cooled down, and that water is again fed to the reactor through the coolant circulating pump. Okay, once again I am repeating, the heat that is transferred from the reactor to the water is used to generate the steam. Now after the steam is generated, then what will happen? The water will become cool. So we have to give back that water to the reactor, okay, with the help of coolant circulating pump. Then steam turbine. The generated steam from the heat exchanger is given to the steam turbine, and this steam turbine is used to rotate the turbine, and by rotating the turbine, the mechanical energy is produced. Okay, due to the pressure of the steam, the turbine will rotate and mechanical energy is produced. And as the steam is passed to the turbine blades, the pressure of the steam will gradually decrease. Okay, the pressure will decrease because the whole pressure is transferred to the turbine blades. Fine. And this steam turbine is covered to the alternator. Now next is alternator. Now what is the main function of alternator? Alternator is coupled with a turbine. The input that is obtained from the turbine, that is mechanical energy, okay, that is used to generate the electrical power. Okay, so alternator will convert the incoming mechanical energy to electrical energy for utilization, and this output from the alternator is delivered to the bus bars through a transformer, circuit breaker and isolators, and it is given to the power distribution system. Okay, now what is the function of condenser and cooling tower? See, the steam that is coming out of the turbine after it has done its work, it is then converted back to the water, because steam is used to rotate the turbine. Then that steam is to be utilized further, and to utilize that steam we are using a condenser. A condenser is a device that is converting the steam from the turbine to again water, and that water is again fed to the heat exchanger, and the same water is again fed to the reactor. Okay, so in this way the coolant towers are also there. The coolant towers will convert the hot water or the steam exhausted from the turbine into normal water, and that normal water is circulated further. Okay, and in this way we can continuously operate the nuclear power station. So this was about the functioning of the nuclear power station. Now we will go towards the instrumentation side. Okay. So let us study about the instrumentation and control in the nuclear power plant. First of all, we will study about the components and the process variables that are used, okay, for control mechanism. It consists of various equipment like sensors, modules, transmitters, and controllers. It will also deal, because we have to control various parameters. We have to control the steam flow, we have to control the temperature, to control each and everything the controllers are used. Okay, so the final control elements like pumps, we have to control the pump, and to control the pump the control signal is to be applied. Then control valves are there, motors, electromechanical equipment like solenoid valves are used to control the plant. Okay, so this is a list of the control elements that we are using, and then I have written some parameters that we have to control the whole nuclear power plant with the help of instrumentation. Which are the parameters? The parameters are temperature, pressure, then flow level, neutron flux. These are some parameters that will monitor the performance of the reactor, the turbine, steam generator, and analyze the information and controls the plant automatically. Our main purpose is to control the plant automatically. So these are the control parameters that will be used, and along with the parameters we have to also use the control elements. So this is about the basics of the instrumentation. Fine. See, next is which are the functions of the control systems in nuclear power plant. Which are the control system functions in a nuclear power plant? See, if we talk about the functions, there are basically two types of functions: regulation function and shutdown function. Regulation function is what the nuclear power plant is running regularly without any problems. Okay, so we have to control the reactor power to match the power requirement. See, each and every time the power requirement is not same, we have to control, we have to adjust the reactor power, that is known as regulation, right? Then shutdown function. Okay, so first of all we'll study about the regulation function. In regulation function there are two types of functions: short-term control and shift control. Short-term control means what? As per the requirement of the power, if we want to control the steam demand, if you want to control the water temperature, system pressure, then at that particular time we can control that for a short period of time. That's why it is known as short-term control. Shift control means a long-term control. After many time usage of the fuel. See, next one is the shift control. In shift control, we are using the long-term control. See, long-term controls like we have to replace the fuel after long use. Okay, so after the fuel depletion, if the fuel becomes empty, then we have to replace the fuel. And again, due to aging of fuel, if the fuel is used at very large amount or large extent, then we have to replace the fuel. So for that purpose, we require shift control. These are the functions. And shutdown function. Sometimes we have to shut down the power plant and we have to again restart that. So we have to increase or decrease the reactor power level gradually or rapidly. For that purpose also we require some functions. So these are the control functions that are done by the control systems. Okay, in the next lecture we will study about these all things in detail. Okay, so I hope it is clear to everyone. You have to watch the videos again and again to get the better understanding. Okay, till then, have a good day. We will see you in the next lecture.